kind of driving out here in the country. We got a 6:30 a.m. start. We're leaving Hawthorne, Nevada, and we are going to drive 439 miles today through Susanville, California, or through Reno, Nevada, and then to Susanville, out through Lassen Park and over to McLeod. That's pretty much all two-lane highway. Once we get into a pretty drive, and then we'll I-5. We'll go up I-5 to Central Point. We're going to hang out there for a while. So I thought, hey, I'm just going to kick around. Never done this before. I'm just going to turn the screen around, and I'm going to show you some views as we drive around. There you go. That's our view as we drive down the road. Now it's early. It's 6:30 in Nevada. I know there's nobody on there watching right now, but I thought maybe somebody will pop on. So we're on Highway 395, and coming up here pretty soon, we will see Walker Lake. In fact, you probably can't see it yet, but off to the right is going to be Walker Lake. Then we're going to run past Walker Lake, and I thought I'd leave it on live for a little while, see if anybody pops on, and hey, if this is interesting to somebody that likes to watch going down a highway in an area, then I don't mind putting the phone on and doing a little live videos as I drive down the road. Doesn't bother me. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to read the chats. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not going to type anything. So I'm just going to pay attention to the road, and if somebody's watching, somebody's watching. I might look at the chat and just see if I see something, but mainly just going to take care of driving. So we're running along right now at 69 mile an hour roughly. The speed limit's 70 out here on 395. We have 200 miles just about. Have to go through Reno, Nevada, and then at 200 miles we're going to come to Susanville, California. And we're going to top Diane off in the car because she won't make it to Central Point without fuel. Once we get past Susanville, we are really out pretty much in the country, and you don't have a whole lot of options until you get to McLeod. Then once you get to McLeod, there is a fuel station there she can stop at. But so once we go through Reno and get into Susanville, we'll stop, or she'll stop and top off. I told her I'd just go on through Susanville, and we would get up on our next turn. I just pull off the side of the road and wait for her. So now you can see, maybe you can see, that's Walker Lake off the right hand side. Now if you're coming through Hawthorne, it'll be a little ways up to a campground. Nice spot right up here. There's a sportsman's park, I think it's called, something like that. I'll tell you what it's called up here. And there's some boondocking down there. There's a couple day use areas. There's some boondocking. We've boondocked there 4 or 5 times, I guess. What a beautiful morning. So, a little story. Is anybody watching? I got one person. Okay. Hey, oh, where you going, dude? I'm not going to usually pay attention to the chat because I'm driving. But hey, we have a 439 mile day today. We're trying to beat a storm. So we were going to go to Susanville and hang out for a night and then move on to Southern Oregon. But there's a storm coming in. And through the pass that we expect to go, they're expecting a foot of snow. So we decided, to heck with that. We're not going to mess with it. We would rather drive in nice sunny weather like this and put a long day in than have to deal with freezing rain and snow and whatever else. So I don't know. We don't like 439 mile days. We're more into the 200 and below mile days, but So we left 2 days ago. We left Casa Grande, Arizona. We went to went to Quartzsite, Arizona. And then from Quartzsite, Arizona, we had a short 146-mile day. Then went to Calnev Airy in Nevada. And then that's when we noticed that Mother Nature changed his mind on weather. We said, crap. So we just boogied. We had a 389-mile day yesterday on roads like this, basically. Other than we went to Las Vegas yesterday. Then we drove on roads like this pretty much for 389 miles. And we ended up on Hawthorne, Nevada. And still trying to beat the weather, we're going to head to Central Point, Oregon today. Yeah, we're pulling our fifth wheel. We are in a 2018 Ram 5500. We have a Kelderman air ride on the back. We have a classy chassis, hauler body. And then we have a Trailer Saver 3-bag air hitch for a fifth wheel hitch. And then we are pulling a 42-foot New Horizon fifth wheel. And that's how we're traveling down the road right now. And that's how we've been traveling we've been on the road, for those of you that don't know us maybe. Diane and I have been full-time RVers now. This right now is 11 and a half years we've been on the road. So, retired in September of 2012 and hit the road full-time in November of 2012. We actually went full-time into an RV in July of 2012, but we started roaming the country in I think it was September or November 2012, and we haven't looked back. And we took off in a 40-foot Class A. It was an 07 that we had. And then after 2 years, we switched to a 42-foot Class A, a Tiffin Phaeton 42LH tag axle. The lake doesn't look any more down through. We're just about to that camping area. And then we went to a 40-foot Horizon fifth wheel. We had it for a couple of years. We sold that. And at that time, we picked up this Ram 5500. Boy, what a pretty view up here. I mean, running along the rock formations and then the lake off the side, the sun reflecting. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I just love driving through here. Anyway, 42-foot Class A, went to 40-foot fifth wheel, sold it, and then went to this 42-foot New Horizon. And we've had this now for, excuse me, over 2 years. Like I said, we've been on the road for 11 and a half years. No real end in sight. We don't know when we will stop full-timing. I think at the last count, I haven't looked at the spreadsheet recently, the last count, we have camped at that point 450 different locations over the 11 and a half years. I imagine now if I did a count, it'd probably be more like 470 more than likely, somewhere in that area, different locations. So we travel around. So if you're doing anything in chat, I'm not paying any attention. This is kind of a curvy section, and I'm just going to pay attention to the road, obviously. I'm sure you can appreciate that. So off to the right, down on the shoreline, that's where I'm talking about, that boondocking area. You got day use there. And then if you pop down over the hill, you can get down pretty much down by the water, and you can boondock. There's a big gravel area that you can park in. I think it costs you, if you're old farts like us, I think it costs us $5 a night to camp there. And then if you keep driving up past that gravel area, there's a small campground. See those rigs down on the right-hand side kind of lined up? They're kind of glowing in the sun. Can you see? I don't even know if you can see it in the screen. I'm not looking at it. But that's the gravel area. If you went down around that bend, it takes you to a little campground. It's a great spot to spend a night or two. We've like I said, we've camped there a few times. wildlife viewing area. The lake is really low. When you drive down to that little camping area, there are stakes along the road that go down there and tell you, like in 10-year increments or whatever, where the water was back then. Man, it's really eye-opening to drive down there and see those markers. So if we go up further up this road, which we are obviously, there is at least one more, if not two more areas that you can camp at. It's not as well developed as that back there, but so I hope the screen is picking up enough of the view, not just sky. I didn't really adjust anything. It's kind of how we run down the road normally. I threw the phone in there. We were getting ready to roll out of Hawthorne. I said, well, I wonder what happens if I put it on live. We'll just let it run for a while, see what people say, see if they enjoy the ride. So right now, like I said, we're on 395, headed toward Reno. We're running along about 65 mile an hour. Diane's behind me in the car. Just a nice smooth run. We get to Susanville. Diane's going to top off with fuel. I'm going to wait for her, and then she'll have enough fuel to make it to, over 300. She gets close to 400 miles on a tank of fuel, but we're going over some mountain passes and stuff. We don't want to get surprised. So we'll stop in Susanville. That way she'll have, 240, 235 miles to go to our destination. So she'll have plenty of fuel to make it. And I didn't top off, but right now on the on my stock tank, which is a 52-gallon tank, I have 298 miles left on it, and I have 3/4 tank in my 90-gallon auxiliary tank. So I won't really need to stop for any fuel between here and Oregon. And by the time we get to the Siskiyou Pass, I'll be running just off most of the auxiliary tank will be empty, or some will be empty, so I'll save on some weight going up over the pass. So, probably in your bottom right part of the screen, you'll see some campers down there maybe. I didn't catch the name of this, but there's a turnoff coming up here in just a second. See those campers? They're pretty well spread out. And there is a pit toilet down there. We have never camped in that area. We have driven out there and drove around a little bit just to check it out, but it's not an area that we would choose to go to, but we have the sportsman area back further. Then there's one more spot coming up that you can boondock at too. And I think there's probably other areas, but nothing that's we know of. 20 Mile Beach, that's what it's called. 20 Mile Beach. And here's the turnoff to 20 Mile Beach right there. Now I wouldn't go out there with any big rigs necessarily. I mean, you could. It's gravel roads and stuff, but it's tighter to get turned around anywhere, so we probably wouldn't go down there in our rig. That sun's bright, glancing off that lake. I'm not sure if it's going to just continue on the same stream I had going or what. I'm not sure. But anyway, we are still on. We're still on 95, headed north. We just went through a small little town of something. We could have hung a left and did Highway 95 alternate, which we've done before. Last time through we did that. Took us out through Arlington and eventually into Carson City, Nevada. This time, for a change of pace, I thought we would jump out here and go straight, and I think this route is going to take us to Fallon, if I'm not mistaken. And then we'll probably catch 80 up there in Fallon, and we'll take 80 into Reno until we jump back on 395 and head towards Susanville. So anyway, got a nice climb coming up here pretty soon. I think the other way is flatter. Wish I probably should have went that way, but that's all right. So in case the one person that just popped on is wondering, maybe you already watched before, but we're trying to outrun the weather front coming through. So we left Casa Grande, Arizona a couple days ago. We had a short day to Quartzsite, Arizona. And from Quartzsite, we took off and we stopped in Calumet area for a night. That's where we realized Mother Nature changed her idea of what she was going to do. So we took a longer day. We had 389 mile day yesterday. Went to Hawthorne, Nevada. And we were going to go to Susanville, which is a 200 mile day, and spend the night. And then have a 200 some mile day onto Southern Oregon. But because of the weather, we decided to do a 439 mile day today and just make it all the way to Southern Oregon. So we don't have to worry about any freezing rain and snow. It's supposed to be a foot of snow up along part of the route that we're taking, if we didn't do it all today. So anyway, now we are running out in the country. I have no idea what kind of cell service we'll get out here. We're running along about 72, 73 mile per hour right now. And we'll be slowing down here in a minute because we have a good climb coming up. So we left Hawthorne. We left Hawthorne this morning at 6:30. And we will do a couple stops. Diane's going to stop in Susanville to get fuel. Then we'll stop somewhere and stretch our legs around that area. There's a nice snowmobile parking lot past Susanville out in the middle of the forest. And there's a rest area there. And we have boondocked back in that area before. We love that spot. So pretty. We will probably stop and use that rest area and stretch our legs. There you go. So you just cut off again. I'm pretty sure that here shortly we're going to drop off on internet and we won't be able to stay live. So that's okay. You don't want to watch a whole drive to Oregon anyway. In fact, I'm looking. Nobody wants to watch right now. All right, I'm just going to turn this off, and maybe I'll turn it on when we go through Reno or something. How do I turn it off? There we go, up there.